Okay, let's jump into black walnuts as an anti-parasitical aid. And let's look right into it here. We'll start on Wikipedia. It says North America, Ontario, South Dakota, Georgia, Florida, Ottawa Valley, Texas. You can pause the screen if you want to read the description there. It's got a lot of linoleic acid, palmatic acid, stearic acid, so it's antibacterial as well, linolenic acid, oleic acid, and so it's omega-9, and which one is this? Linoleic and linoleic. Okay, so it's allelopathy. And it excretes chemicals into the environment that harm competition or the plants around it, and it's not water soluble, the juglon, and the roots, inner bark, nut husks and leaves contain what's to us non-toxic chemical called hydrojuglon, but it's non-water soluble, and it can stop other plants growing underneath it, so it can take the area over, obviously. Let's go into WebMD. I like this one because you can read reviews here. Here's some other names for black walnut: carrier, carrier bacilli, carrier persica, green black walnut, green walnut, juglans nigra. That's what the Wikipedia was titled. Jupiter's nut, nogal americano, nogal negro, Neguero preta, Neox to Jupiter, and more names. Just in another article, it's treating syphilis and diphtheria, and also uses for leukemia, hair dye and all that stuff. This stuff is non-water soluble, remember. So, and it's going to have antioxidant properties, that means, as well. So there you go, intestinal worms is what we're interested in using it for. To mix it with wormwood, I'm going to do another video on wormwood, and let's have a look at the side effects here of black walnut. Always check when you're pregnant, doesn't look like anything specific. Let's go to Mount Rose Herbs. Again, covering the scientific name there. Talks about a North American variety. We seem to have it here in South America too. Not much on that page. Let's have a look at this extension iastate.edu. Up here the link. Can grow to 75 feet and even more, to 150 feet tall. So you can get a lot of your good oils from walnut for your brain. Has those omega-3s in there as well. So interesting. Seed bearing age 12 years. Seed bearing frequency yearly. And it can get very wide as well. Common associates of black walnut vary as much as the sites, but include oaks, basswood, maples, ashes, Kentucky coffee tree. That's obviously for America up there, North America. Alright, let's go to DIY Natural and see what they have to say here on the leaves and the husks. So you can see on another website here, Dr. Axe, the black nuts and indigo herb, or John Barron here, the black walnut hulls can be used as well and be anti-parasitical, and the leaves apparently. Let's have a look. Omega-3s. There you go. It's black. Its bark, roots, leaves, nuts, and husks has all been used in different ways. Powder or the tincture. hypothyroidism, gallbladder congestion or stones, digestive problems, intestinal worms, fungal skin infections on the skin. Yeah, I would say that it would push stuff out, and also I would say that it would push parasites to the surface, and it would be a good idea to either go surfing in the ocean or swimming and get that salt, or do like a ink and salt rub where you have herbs and salt that you dissolve in water and throw it over yourself. And eczema as well. Yeah, it's going to help. It's going to push it to the surface and kind of make your skin not a place they want to live. So not too much information there. Let's go to Indigo Herbs, UK website. Folklore and history. Where we go? Yeah. Traditional uses for skin disorders, to expel parasites from the intestine. So we're talking about using these husks and the leaves. You can make tea. I'm gonna make tea with the leaves, and you can macerate them all together with wormwood and some kind of sort of quick shot, just in a sort of scotch glass or something like that, and do that a couple of times a day to anti-worm, febrifuge, anti-fever, anti-skin parasites, as we've seen as well, and it'll have a kind of purgative effect. It's got tannins, iodine as well, polyphenols, carotenoids, and melatonin. So there you go. It is definitely going to the skin, because you can't buy melatonin tablets. I remember years ago in the chemist I wanted to buy melatonin tablets, and they thought I meant melanin, but I was like, no, melatonin. Oh no, sorry, it was the other way around actually. I went into the chemist looking for melanin for the skin. So melatonin is the precursor, that's right, to things like DMT in the pineal. Help you with sleep, so it'll make you a bit sleepy. Polysterols in there as well. Black walnut is a naphnoquinone, so it's got quinone. That's what the juglone is. It's a natural herbicide that exerts an inhibitory effect on certain enzymes needed for metabolic function. It's thought that the high tannin content is also responsible for antiparasitic properties. I'd agree, helping to eliminate microbes from the large intestine. So that's why we take it with wormwood, because wormwood's very famous for getting out the worms. And then with worms, in all the mucus down there, they're associating with and pumping out viruses. And they can't keep viruses and bacteria off themselves as well. That's the way they live, that's their environment, that low vibration. You can also meditate and stuff to help, raise your vibration through your chakras, then your meridians, off the plasmonic field, obviously. Source. And I don't think source is the same as the AI. I think the AI surface virus is something sucking directly from the fifth dimension, but not the light itself. So yeah, very powerful antifungal, and you're also going to have fungi if you have a lot of worms in there for a long time, like candidas, so it's a candida killer. So that's why we want to put it with the wormwood. Digestive health is obviously one of its more famous aids to the human body. It's getting rid of Heliobacteria, pylori, H. pylori, which is a common one I see mentioned in a lot of articles, but I still recommend this black walnut because of its sort of power. It's got a lot of power. It's like how you get stained when you work with what's it called? Beetroot. The betalain stain your hand because it's powerful. So it's going to stain your body. It's going to get uptaken, and it's going to do the job. You can see it's quite powerful in colour and pigment. Walnut obviously has nutrition for the brain as well, but we're looking for the expel parasite stuff today. Tapeworm, yeah, see, because it's going to go against the big worms. Ringworm, pin or threadworm. So that's a type of heartworm, I think, as well. And other, or maybe not, I can't remember, but might be. And other parasites of the intestine, so maybe it's not, maybe that's just for the intestine. Yeah, it's in addition to any parasite cleanse, that's why I'm mentioning it today. Okay. Tannins in black walnut have an astringent effect, which is used to tighten the epidermis, from draxe.com here, mucous membranes, and relieve irritation. Dermatologically, applications associated with black walnut include viral warts, eczema, acne, psoriasis on the skin, and cirrhosis. What is cirrhosis again? I'll look here. Cirrhosis cutis for dry skin. Okay, so just dry skin. So that's an antioxidant sort of effect there. Tinea pedis and poison ivy. Improves cardiovascular health with Mediterranean diet, because you put them in a salad. Holds antifungal, antimicrobial properties, and that's what we're talking about. These compounds here, the juglone, which I don't see in every plant, so it must be specific to black walnut, or maybe the family of plants, or maybe the genus of plants. But so far I have not seen that in a lot of other plants. Like you see thyme oil from thyme, the plant, in a lot of other plants. Good for hemorrhoids, giardia, chronic constipation, intestinal toxemia. That's basically what I was trying to focus on, just toxemia of the gut. It's going to be a good one to throw down there, especially when you're using wormwood. Highest activity against S. aureus and candida symptoms and heliobacteria. A gram-negative bacterium that causes several human gastrointestinal diseases. So several diseases going in one. So this is like a pill, a natural pill when you know how to use it. So it's also good against several algae, several algae species, including Anabaenia variolus and Anabaenia floss aquae, were inhibited significantly by juglone. There you go. Juglone blocks potassium channels, promotes the generation of hydrogen peroxide, and inhibits transcription in cancer cells. So you can use the branches, bark, and immature green fruit for that, and cancer fighting. It's native to Himalayas, Kyrgyzstan, Central Asia, and was cultivated in Europe as early as 100 BC, before Christ, so 2,000 years ago. Again, thousands of years of use, so that's good. We know we can use it. There we go. Breakdown of the minerals. Okay. Not bad. So you get a bit of anti-parasitical as well, a bit of nutrition at the same time. Okay. Again with the black walnut nutrition. H. chloride. Here we go. Other constituents: 1-alpha tetralone derivative, regulone, stigmasterol, beta-sitosterol, taxifolin, camphorol as well. Quercetin, so that's good for the heart, and myristicin, which is also in coconut oil. Other nutrients: folate, melatonin, and phytosterol. Okay, let's see here. 1 ounce, 28 grams of black walnuts contains 173 calories, 3 grams of carbohydrates, 7 of protein, 17 fat, 2 grams of fiber. You get 55% of your daily intake of manganese, 20% copper, 15 magnesium, 15 potassium, so that's pretty low potassium. So it's more for your minerals, so you get some zinc and iron, but not much. So that's why I wanted to aim it really as the, thing to throw in with wormwood when you're treating your intestinal tract, basically. I mean, obviously I put it in a salad, and it's good for the brain because it's got the omega-3s. But yeah, anyway, let's finish with John Barron. I really like his website because he goes really into depth, and he seems to, I don't know, make really like a nice long article, so it's not just like as glib. And he throws in a few good, links and references as well. Let's have a look here. Bactericidal and virucidal. Even against the HIV. This is a big deal. HIV-1 replicates itself through reverse transcription, a process that produces new double-stranded DNA from the viral genome's single-stranded RNA. Okay, so it's working at the DNA level then. Antiparasitic and antifungal effects. Pinworm, ringworm, tapeworm. Seen that again. Okay. See if there's an amount to, like a dosage. Oh, here we go. Antiparasitic and antifungal herbs such as black walnut, not to mention heavy doses of garlic, can help drive all of them out of the body. So this is what we're trying to do. He's got the idea. Black walnut is an ingredient in his liver tincture. So for the liver tincture, he's got black walnut in his liver tincture formula. So it can ease scrofula, ulcers, wounds, rickets, scurvy, and as a gargle. Alright. Aiding digestion, relieve colic, heartburn, flatulence, bile flow. So it's going to help the bile flow even. Easing pain in the spleen. If you've got pain of the spleen. Balancing blood sugar levels. If you're in a city life where you're drinking, I don't know, fruit juices, which is just as much sugar as a Coca-Cola. Combating malaria, helping syphilis, skin conditions like bolus and acne. And there's some resources that he's left there. So there you go, that's a nice little video on black walnut.